Hello and welcome to Learning Rust Programming series. My name is Ashish. Today we are going to learn some interesting traits like from, into, try from and try into traits which are used for conversion between custom types like struct and enum. So we know that primitive can be converted to each other through casting. We have seen this casting in one of our previous video. Rust addresses conversion between custom types struct and enum by use of threads. The generic conversions will use from and into threads. However, there are more specific ones for the more common cases, in particular when converting to and from strings. Let's take an example. So on the screen, you could see I have one structure defined number which has one component, that is value of type integer of 32 bits. Now what we need to do, so and if you look at this directive, this enables the debug information. So I can use colon and question mark, and if I run this, then it prints the information number value 1 when I add this line. All right, so the first thing that I want to tell you is how to use from thread and what exactly are from and into thread, how they help you in your coding. The from and into threads are inherently linked, and this is actually part of its implementation. If you are able to convert type A from type B, then it should be easy to believe that we should be able to convert type B into type A. So here, if I have structure number and which is composed of value integer 32, then I should be able to create number from integer 32 and vice versa. So let me show you let me explain you through diagram. So if I want to use from thread, then this from thread allows for type like the structure number type to define how to create itself from another type integer 32, hence providing a simple mechanism for converting between several types. There are numerous implementations of this thread with the standard library for conversion of primitive and common types. So one of the example that we have seen is str. We have used string where we can you directly create like this. Let me show you through the example. Let me go to Visual Code. Yeah. So something like this we have seen. So we create string directly like this using double quote, and then we can actually create string. And here we have used from thread, which is defined in standard library. So something similar we have to do for our custom types. So again, let's go back to diagram. So here, now we have to use from thread. We have to implement from thread for this number, and it will take this parameter as integer 32 and will create this number from this parameter. Let's see how we can use this. So I have already defined the structure. Now let's implement from thread F capital, don't forget. And here, when you use generics, you will come to know more about this stuff. But here we are using generics. Here I'm supposed to use the type which I need to convert from. That is, in this case, this is integer 32, and normally we use. So we have learned how to implement thread for the structure. Then I need to implement this from method, which accepts. Yeah, and here return type will be self. So this is capital S, right? Self. And I need to create number, value, and pass this item as a parameter. That's it. And how to use this? So I have this small number. What I'm going to do now is, instead of using instantiating like this, I'm going to use from, and I'm going to pass number like this. All right. So if I run this, then I will have same output, number, value 1. So it is just like we have used from thread. Now let's look at into thread. So into thread is simply reciprocal of from thread. That is, if you have implemented from thread for your type, into will call it when necessary. Using into thread will typically require specification of the type to convert into, as the compiler is unable to determine these most of the time. So let's look at this. So I have if I have to use into thread, I have to implement it on I32, that is integer 32, and I will take it as a number, as a the number itself is a parameter, so I will pass self, and then I will return number. So let's look at so we'll come to know through example. So for that, now I will delete this from trait. Then I will implement now into trait I capital. And here again, we are going to use generics. I need to pass number, use for I32. Then I'm going to use number function. I need to use function into. So here now it's a small self. All right. And we simply again create number using this self. All right. And now instead of using, now what we are going to do is we are going to create integer, let's say something like this. And then what we are going to get number from this int, like using int dot into. And here I need to specify its type. All right. And if I run this, then we'll see it will print number value 10. So this is about into trait. Next is try from. Similar to from and into, we have try from and try into. These are generic traits for converting between types. Unlike from and into, the try from and try into traits are used for fallible conversion. So what does that mean? Is it will return a result as. So if we are not sure that this certain type of chances are that it may generate error while creating it. So then we use try from. Let's look at example. So suppose I now rename this structure as even number. I will use again try from, and I'm going to need this for my number, even number, sorry. And now my function is going to be try underscore from, and I will need again integer, that is, so let's define type error equal to, then if value item mod 2, that is if number is divisible by 2, then only I have number result okay, successful, and we create number as even number. Value is what, the, yeah, and else we have error object. So the return type should be the result. Result is of two types, self, and second is going to be self error. Correct. And now what we can do is we can pass one correct value. So we need to test now two part. One is success and one is error part. So for that, what I'm going to do is let's test try from. And so even number try from, let's pass value as 10. Let's try to print this error. And second, let's try to fail this result 2 equal to, so this time let's pass odd number, that is, let's say 5. We know the outcome. Let's see what it prints. Okay, so first of all, it has printed even number, and second time it has printed error. Okay, let's go ahead and create. So here itself, what I'm going to do is 10 I32 dot try into, and here we know, and so similarly here what we are going to do is again 5 of integer type 32 dot try into result. Yeah, so we don't have to change much to use. Yeah, here it expects result as even number, and yeah, empty. And similarly here also we expect unity, right? Unity as so this is our error type. Now, if I run this, then I'm expecting same result, correct? So we have used from and into, then try from and try into. So last part is when we want to implement. So for example, here, what we need to do is if I want to print the result, okay. So what happens is, so suppose let me delete this. So I have this number and I want to print. Let me show you. Let me have number equal to even number, or maybe just a number. Let me rename value equal to 10 or 1. I pass this as a number and let me remove this. Yeah. So here what it it says that my number structure type number doesn't implement standard format display. So we have to we are going to learn how to implement this uh, trait so that we can. So in Java, if you are coming from Java, then you know if you want to print something, then automatically you have to override toString method. So similarly in Rust, to convert any type to a string, we have to implement toString trait for that type. Very similar. If you are coming from Java, then you must be aware of this thing. So we have to implement fmt display from this and for my type number. Here I need to implement this fmt, and the first parameter is going to be self, and then I have mutable formatter which returns empty result. Okay, and I'm going to use write macro here using this formatter. Number is self dot value. All right, so now you can see this warning, this error has gone, and if I print this, then number is 1. So you can clearly see. So this is the standard fmt trait that we have implemented for our structure, which converts. So we are basically implementing toString trait, and which this is how you can implement it for your structure. So yeah, so this f formatter you need to pass in this write trait, and second line is whatever string that you need to implement. So if you have multiple strings here, then you can print values accordingly. This trait, you may use positional parameters also. So this is how you implement. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe if you are liking the content. Thank you.